Pharmacist Ben here. For many years, you've been hearing me say that there are two kinds of eating, the kind of eating we have to do and the kind of eating we want to do, and talking about the confusion that many of us have around which one of these two kinds of eating is associated with our need to feed and the types of foods we want to feed on. The neural correlates in the brain that are associated with each of these separate and distinct types of appetite drives, survival-based or pleasure-based, have been isolated and studied as distinct brain components for a long time. Now it turns out, according to research out of Rockefeller University, there are actually brain pathways that are correlates of the confusion many of us feel when it comes to distinguishing these two types of eating drives. It seems like in the brain there are entanglements between the neural wiring that is associated with eating for need and eating for pleasure that belies the belief in the separate nature of these two types of eating behaviors. What scientists are finding out, according to lead research investigator Jeffrey M. Friedman, is that the brain interprets pleasurable eating as an imperative that is as important to the brain as is eating for survival, so that when we see that sugar or fat-filled food that activates our brain's pleasure and reward centers, there's a simultaneous activation of brain wiring that interprets that food as a must-have for the ultimate survival of the organism. In terms of the messages we will actually be receiving from our brain, it's that not only will that pile of mode that is most certainly not on our diet plan make us very happy, but even more fundamentally to the organic computer in our cranium is that our very survival depends on us eating it. That's why diets don't work. And that's why if we're going to be able to make changes in how we eat, we have to figure out a way to satisfy our brain's survival imperatives in ways that don't ultimately compromise our health. If you're trying to avoid eating salty, fatty, and sugary foods, try getting your oils in the form of essential fatty acids, omega-6s and omega-3s. Try getting your salt in the form of liquid minerals, Celtic sea salt, Himalayan salt. You'll also find that by upping your intake of protein, you can relieve sugar cravings, especially the amino acids glutamine and tryptophan, which you can get as straight tryptophan or the amino acid 5-HTP. Also, slightly heating veggies like onions and peppers by roasting or steaming them to release their sweet flavor, you can help relieve sugar cravings. That's today's message. Make sure you tune into The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network daily, 8 to 9 Pacific Time, for more good health information.